Pues, mi
Is that the same Elaine, Elaine Young?
No, it's a different Elaine. The other one was with an H. This one is just an E.
Fantastic, Elaine with an E, and welcome to the call. All right, people are coming in really fast right now. Audios are connected, so I will just keep repeating myself. Welcome everybody, you're in the right place at the right time. Tuesday night's the most important night of the week. Write that down, most important night of the week. Share that with everybody that you talk to from this point forward. Make sure they realize how important Tuesday night is. A lot of great things happen on Tuesday night, but also we get a chance to welcome all the brand new people on Tuesday night. So if you're new, we love hearing from you. Everybody wants to know you made it. Click on the little microphone in the lower left-hand corner down there, or hold down a space bar on the keyboard, say hello. Don't forget to let us know what state you're calling in from. Robin, welcome to the call. Go ahead. Robin Larson, where are you calling in from?
Herman, Nebraska.
Nebraska. Welcome, Robin. Glad you made it.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Thank you.
You can admit, let that big group of people come in. The time we have, 6:59. We're getting close to the top of the hour. This is when everybody's going to rush in. So
I got that button, Kyle.
I just hit it a couple times too. Good deal. Thank you very much. All right. So welcome everybody to RRR247 team conference call. It's Tuesday night, the most important night of the week. Glad you're here. You're in the right place at the right time. I'm going to share some great things with you. Everything great happens every night of the week, but really great things happen on Tuesday nights, as you never know what our co-founders are going to release and share with you. So if you're brand new and it's your first Tuesday night call, please click on that little microphone so we know you made it. Say hello. Let us know what state you're calling in from, and welcome to the call.
Hi, Dave from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Dave from Cincinnati. Welcome, Dave.
Good to see you, Dave. Dave is one of my brand new students. Hasn't even had the flu.
Fantastic. Welcome. Glad you made it.
Halfway through the book. I'm loving it.
It's a great book, and for any of you that are brand new that haven't started reading that book yet, you definitely want to dive into it. Go ahead, iPhone. Where are you calling in from? iPhone. Where are you calling in from? Go ahead. All right. iPhone's having technical difficulties. I get those technical difficulties. Glad it's someone else, not me this time, because it's usually me. However, I love Tuesday night because we get to meet all these new faces, all these new people. Welcome to the family. Chris, you got a huge smile with that blood moon behind you. Love it. Looks really good, by the way. And we love hearing from all the brand new people. So if you're new and it's your first Tuesday night call, click on the little microphone right over there in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, bottom left, and unmute. Make sure we know you made it. Say hello. Let us know what state you're calling in from. And welcome to the call.
Hello,
Hello, Andrew. Where are you calling in from?
Cookville, Tennessee.
Cookville, Tennessee. Fantastic. Glad you made it.
Yep.
Woohoo, Tennessee.
All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. Glad you made it. Everybody else, what time we have? 7:01. We're running out of time. So that big crowd that just came in, we'll give them a couple of seconds to get their audio connected. Look at all the audio spinning still. Somebody came in at the same time. Stacy Rose, are you brand new? Are you calling in? Stacy already said hello, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Yeah, got it. I remember that name. How could I forget that name?
Am I there
Hello
now?
from New York.
Where are you calling in from, Reg?
I'm calling in from Las Vegas, Nevada at the moment.
Fantastic. Welcome. Glad you made
Oh,
it.
I get to hear you guys. Last week I didn't until later, but life is good.
You made it this time. Congrats.
Yeah.
Reg is also mine. Good to see you, Reg.
Don't worry.
Fantastic. Welcome, everybody. Glad you made it. And it is 7:02, so I'm going to do last call. Ooh, look at that big crowd.
Hello from New York.
Hey, Danella, glad you made it. And Flory from New York, glad you made it.
Mark Carter from Northern California, Eureka.
Fantastic, Mark. Thank you. Glad you made it.
Rona Elmine from Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York's in the house. Thank you, Rona. Somebody unmuted. Go ahead. Thank you, Roy.
That's my student, Rona. Welcome, Rona.
Fantastic. Welcome, everybody.
Hey, Joe.
That's 15 or 16. I might have lost count on one. I might have missed one, but 15 or 16 brand new people. Always great to see. Every week we have somewhere between 20 and 30. I know there's at least 4 or 5 more out there. So last call for everybody. Absolute last call, 7:03. That's when I stop. Click on the little microphone in the lower left-hand corner, or hold on the space bar on your keyboard. Say hello. Let us know what state you're calling in from. Welcome to the call. Robin Larson, you're unmuted. Go ahead. Where are you calling in from?
Colorado.
Hi, in Colorado. Thank you. All right, let's hit some
Already
buttons.
introduced yourself.
Who is that? Who is that? I missed it.
That was, Robin had already introduced herself previously.
Oh, okay, good. I seen her square light up, like Hollywood. What's that game? Hollywood Squares? Is that it? Yeah. Seen her square light up. I thought she was trying to say hello. All right, let's hit some buttons over here. We're gonna do this one. Letty Greenwood, where are you calling in from, Letty? We lost Letty.
Sorry, I'm not new. I'm sorry, I'm not new. I didn't realize I was on mute.
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Still glad you made it. All right, we're gonna hit this button. Somebody was trying to say hello, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit that button. Then I'm gonna hit this button. And then do we want this recorded also? I know we're streaming. I'll get back on that. All right, so welcome everybody to the RRR247 team conference call. Tuesday night, October 11th. It's a great night. It's the most important night of the week. Everything huge happens on Tuesday night, even though the rest of the nights are great. This is the night you're going to hear from our co-founders, one of them or both of them, and they're going to share something fantastic with you. It's never the same thing. That's why you never want to miss a Tuesday night. If anything's ever going to be added to our system that helps you make more money, it's going to happen on a Tuesday night. So that's why Tuesday night is the biggest night. You never want to miss that night, and make sure you pay that information forward to everybody else. For all you new folks, and I had 18 new folks, welcome to the family, welcome to the team. My name's Lyle Eddy. I'm actually from Florida, but for the last couple of months, I've been all over Texas, all over San Francisco, Napa Valley, now out here in Utah, hanging with family, building the dream, and having a great time. As Stacy said, I think the mountain air did something to my voice, though, so I apologize for that. Or maybe things are just clearing up. It's a good thing to experience. So I've been in the industry for 35 years now. Listen, I've known the co-founders of our system for 30 of those 35 years. It's been a fantastic life. We have done a lot of incredible things. We've, traveled all over the place. We built an incredible business. We've helped a lot of people along the way. We've marketed everything from A to Z. But I'm going to tell you guys, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, we've never had it as good as we have it right now. So for everybody here, but especially the 18 brand new people that just joined the family, you're in the right place at the right time. And that's why Zoom says that as you're trying to get in. As I said, we've done incredible things here. When I got started in the industry 35 years ago, I was just looking for a way to supplement my income. I hurt my back and went back to school at 30-something years old with a wife and 3 kids. Thought I had a great plan. I had the credit card, savings account, everything planned out. I could get through school quickly. But toward the end of school, as I was trying to get my associate's degree in avionics and my license to work on aircraft, which is a passion of mine, I seen that money starting to dwindle down. My plan wasn't working so good. So I was looking for an extra $500 or $1,000 a month that I can continue to spoil my kids with. And that's when I joined the industry. And it turned into be a lot more than that. I found out quickly this is an incredible business plan that opened up doors for me that I never knew existed. I graduated school. I went to work at the airport for about 8 months. And that's the day I made a decision. It was no longer advantageous for me to go to work anymore and punch a clock when I was having more fun and making more money with my little side business that was supposed to help give me extra money to spoil my kids than I was at the airport. So I turned that page. I walked away from my career. I joined this industry full-time 35 years ago. I dove in. I became a student of the industry. I became a student of the system that I was working back then. And in a couple of years' time, I looked back one day and realized I was making more in a couple of months than I ever knew anybody that I've ever known in my life was making in an entire year. That turned out to be one of the best decisions of my life. And again, it opened up doors for me I didn't know existed. And I was able to create the time freedom that I wanted to spend more time with my kids. I went to every football practice. From the time my son was this tall and the helmet was bigger than him, all you dads that have football kids know what I'm talking about. The helmet was bigger than them, right? I went to football practice from that day all the way through high school, and he was playing football, even though he decided he was too little to play college football and he had another passion that he followed. I went to every volleyball camp because I had a daughter that played volleyball. Went to every cheer camp because one of my daughters was a cheerleader. And when the high school needed a bowling coach for their travel league, I volunteered. Why? Because I could. I love bowling and I love spending time with my kids. So the first thing this industry gave me was the time freedom to raise my kids and spend time with my kids and give my kids their heart's desire without spoiling them. I called it SP oiled back then because they valued and appreciated everything. So I gave them a good life, and not only did I create the time freedom I needed, I created the financial freedom to take them on vacations, give them all those things that I talked about without ever feeling guilty about any dime I spent. And all of us parents know that every time we went on vacation, we would get home and look at how much we just spent on that vacation, and we start feeling guilty about how much we spent, and then working that back into our budget somehow to pay those cards off. This industry gave me the ability to never do that again. Never feel guilty about what I spent. Never feel guilty about how much time I got to spend with my children. And as I said, opened up doors I didn't know existed, and life's been great since. But it's never been as good as we have it right now. And that's got me pretty darn excited about this. And that's where you hear all this passion and excitement and energy come from in me, because I love what I do. Every single day I get up and I tell Rory, who I pitch myself sometimes, and I can't believe that this is what we get to do every single day. And I want to get to my desk and say, who do I get to help today? All of us that have been around for a little while, we understand that feeling. We get to our desk feeling excited and feeling good about who do we get to help today. This system started 16 years ago. It got fine-tuned 6 or 7 years ago. It exploded on that 6-year mark. Everything that we have today is a result of our co-founders putting together a system to take a marketing army out to the world that manufacturers of products and services are going to love and come to them all the time and ask them to please market their products. I got involved because I met Rory 3 decades ago when I was a young entrepreneur looking for a voicemail company that I could advertise all over the country, doing a mail order program back then and run all that volume through one voicemail. They told me to talk to him, so I did. I met this young guy right out of high school that had a passion for mass communication, but he also had a love to teach other people and help other people with whatever they came to him for, right? And he gave me the voicemail that I was looking for. I handed all the volume, but he also showed me how this voicemail system, as I built a network of people around the country, I could put a message on that system and shoot it out to everybody at the same time. Some of you young folks and some of you new folks getting into business now are thinking, what's so big about that? Now we've got email and text messaging and cell phones and all this stuff. We can all do that. This was in 1992, before we had the internet. We didn't have any cell phones. We didn't have email. We didn't have any of this technology today, but we did have a young kid with a desire and a love of mass communication. He was able to do all of that through the phone company. But when the internet came out in 1993, that's when he found his niche. He left that company, went online, became the first lead generation guru, because the first thing all of his customers, all of his clients all over the world needed to build our businesses online were leads. Roy dove in, learned the lead generation business, became the #1 lead generation company out there, and he still holds that title today. Nobody could produce the quality or the quantity of leads that he could produce. So obviously he built an incredible customer base globally. But then he's also started designing websites. He got some of the best people to build websites. He took all of his knowledge and all of his wisdom and all his desires and what he knew a website should do. He started building websites. It started off with a one-page flyer on the internet. Then he added pages behind the page, the second generation stuff. As he learned more, he kept adding it to it. And that thing just kept evolving and evolving every month, every quarter, every year, until what you guys are getting to look at today, which is called the Performance Blogging System, or PBS. We've got hundreds of pages inside one main page, and all of those pages represent more products and services that we get to take to the marketplace. In the beginning, we had 2, maybe 3, 4, if we're lucky, products and services that we can market to a smaller portion of society. Now we have hundreds of things that we can take out there to a bigger audience, create incredible incomes for yourself. You're having a positive impact on the quality of life for other people, whether you're helping them with the product, the service, or starting their own business so they can get the time freedom and the financial freedom that I was just talking about in the beginning. When I met Rory early, about a year after I met him on the phone, I got to fly out to Miami and meet him at an event we were both attending. Got to have dinner with him, shook his hand, looked him in the eyes for the first time, and I knew that day that this is a guy that is a servant leader and cares about everybody he talks to. He's one of those people who look you in the eyes the whole time you're talking to him, and he never looks away because he's really interested in every word you got to say. That is a servant leader, and that's somebody that really cares. I knew I'd be a part of his life, or he'd be a part of my life, however you want to say that. For the rest of my life, I had no idea how much, how big, how long, 3 decades now. But I knew that we were going to be somehow know each other and work together for the rest of our lives. Shortly after meeting him, I got to fly out to Utah and meet his wonderful wife, Tanya, the other co-founder, his business partner. I knew right away this was a power couple like I've never met before. I walked in and met this young mom raising 7 children, running several businesses of her own, while also helping Rory get this thing built. It was incredible to see that kind of planning, that kind of organization, that kind of passion for what you do. She's one of the most organized people I've ever met in my life and still holds that title today. She's helped me with my own organization, my own time management, several times throughout the years. I know she's helped Stacy and a lot of others. We get together for some of our special events. When we think we're doing good and we got our day organized, Tanny can take that, break it down, put it all back together, and save us 2 hours in that day somehow, some way. And that is either going to give us more time to spend with our family or more time to build our business and help other people. I knew right away that these two complement each other perfectly, and they were going to become the power couple that they are today. 3 days later, I'm looking back and that vision came true. Jim Rohn told me 25, 26, 27 years ago, the true legends on this planet are the people who find the ways to service to most other people. Folks, to me, that's the definition of our co-founders, Rory and Tanya Rickard. That's who you guys are getting in business with. This is the system that we have in place. They've attracted a large leadership group who are now going forward and attracting other people into the business and building leaders out of them. And if you're looking for someplace that you can build yourself a business, whatever your goals are, whether you just want to make an extra $500,000 a month, or you want to make an extra $500,000 a week, or you want to make more, all you've got to do is plug in the system that they put together, become a good student of this industry and a good student of the system like I did in 35 years ago. And there's nothing that you cannot accomplish here as long as you don't make the one mistake that you can make in this industry, and that's quit on yourselves and give up. Don't give up on yourselves and quit. That's what I meant. Don't ever give up on yourselves and quit, and you'll get to wherever you want to go. So if you're looking for a place that you can build a business like that while also helping other people out there improve the quality of their life, giving them a hand up, you found your home, and all of us welcome you here with open arms. We are one big team with core values that we help everybody. And every leader in this company that you meet, you're going to find out they're the same way. We love all of you, and we want to help every one of you build whatever it is you came here to achieve. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the team. And it's my pleasure now to introduce my friend, my brother, our co-founder, the leader, the visionary, Mr. Rory Rickard himself. The microphone is yours. We can't wait to hear what you're going to share tonight. Take it away.
Thanks, Niall. Okay, I got so much to cover. I'm going to go through a couple of things in order here, and then I've got a very special wisdom treat for you guys that I felt very inspired. I wanted to let you guys know you're going to want to get ready to listen and pay attention. I'm going to go a little bit into a deeper zone. And I'll let you guys know before I get there. So right now I got matters of business. First and foremost, let's go over the Vivo watch. I'm going to pull this up. You guys remember this? Okay, mine's just got done charging. It died today. I'm putting my tune down here. Guys, I am so impressed on how calm I'm just feeling all the time. And there's so much greatness going on. I should have anxiety because I want to get it all rolling out. I'm going to just, if there's anything for you to remember right away, 2023 is around the corner. We're about where we need to be anyway to start promoting the holiday stuff. We're going to start doing that. But in 2023, we are going to be adding some incredible value to what we do. And we're not going to be increasing overhead. We're just going to increase profitability. And I had an amazing meeting today. I got back here in time to eat dinner and hang out with Malik and Tanya and our friends here. But I got to tell you, what's coming is just remarkable. And we're just adding to what we already have. I've been teasing it out a little bit, but in our blockchain environment, we have the Vivo watch. Okay. And I need to put out an alert. I've been on the phone with the senior vice president, and also the CEO, and I'm going to be on again on Thursday. So I'm gonna cover some stuff as far as Vivo and the update. But then you guys, this next week, you're not going to see much of me because I'm going to my mastermind that I do this time every year, and I'm saying that because Tuesday is going to be a treat, you guys. Tanya is going to be on there, and some other guests next Tuesday. And you guys are going to be able to hear from her, and she's going to be able to go into some things with that complete time. So, this is a time of, the end of the year, we're getting towards the next year. We need to really revitalize what we're doing in our day to get more time out of it, the organizational side of things and more. So that's next Tuesday. Also, the following Tuesday, when I am returning, I'm going to be returning with a lot more information on the Vivo watches, and I will probably be doing so with a corporate guest to really address things. So I want you guys to understand a couple of things right now. Number one, make sure everyone has gone to their vivowallet.com. You've logged in. You should see your tokens on the bottom right, and they're the off-chain tokens. They're not on the blockchain yet. They're not tradable yet. That supposedly is coming near January. We'll have more details on that in 2 weeks. It should say boost or already boosted on where your tokens are. If it says boost, you need to click the boost button and boost those immediately. If it says already boosted, you should be good to go. Anyone not seeing tokens or boost or already boosted, I need you to submit a ticket, and you guys will submit a ticket from your myvivo.com account. You can try to do it from your Vivo wallet if it allows you to. That was being corrected. But if you can't launch the ticket there, launch it from the other login, which is the vivo.com. You log in as you, and that's where you see your business back office and stuff. Launch the ticket from there. Now, pay attention to this, okay? Let's say that you didn't get your 500 tokens and you never got the 10 times. I know they said they were done with it. After my conversation of late, we're going to get these fixed now. This is not like this is going to happen again. I'm taking care of you now, but I need them ASAP, and I'm hoping I can have them by Thursday. And you need to submit them to your MSIs. The MSIs will get them to me. I have a format I need to compile them with. I'm going to submit them to the senior vice president himself. He's going to oversee and check every ticket to make sure they're all done. If you have been told that you can't do anything, I don't care what they told you. I'm going to get it fixed. But this is going to happen now. And if you don't get it fixed this time with me now, I can't help you, because they're going to close it all out for sure. They're going to reopen things. I made a nice mess of this to take care of everybody, and they want to do the right thing. But there's some complications. We got to get this worked out. So submit the ticket. I need the ticket number and your full name given to your MSI and a rough, and I need you to copy what you put in the ticket. I need to know what you said in the ticket, because I want to make sure we address the problem. And also, if there's any confusion, I'm going to like look it over first and see if we need to give anybody additional stuff on that. Okay, so I have some people that have come to me. If you brought it to my attention directly, assume that you did not and submit it up to the MSI again. I don't want to leave any chance that something gets dropped. We have a chance to fix it, all right? If we have people that we know need to get chased down, obviously we'll do it. But if someone wasn't on the Tuesday call, these are special things that come up. We can't chase everybody down. We got to make people need to be responsible for their own business. And when I tell you what's going to be happening, you're going to want to make sure this got done right. But I don't know who's didn't get fixed. I don't know where it's at. There's a lot of tickets. I was told all the tickets were completed, but I've heard from people directly that they weren't completed. And so we're opening up back up, and they want to make us happy. So please give me that information via your MSI before Thursday. That's today, tomorrow. Make sure they have it. Thursday, I'm compiling everything and submitting it to get done. Remember, I'm going to be leaving on a mastermind. I'm not going to be like very communicative. I'm not going to be in contact with a lot. I'm probably going to be in open waters, down in the deep sea, chasing some fish or something like that. Okay. MSIs, you're gonna submit those to me in the secure channel. If you don't know what that means, I ask them on their MSI. I want it in that one location only. This is communication to me. All right, I need to remind you guys how and why we got here on this Vivo project. Had a very interesting meeting today. Very interesting meeting today, and it's a pretty remarkable thing that we're undertaking. It's a very, very big project. There's some very, very large things happening with it. And if you're getting the communications from the company and trying to keep up with it, I understand. We came in, and I think I told everybody this when we did this in January, that we had a very, very special, unique arrangement. Okay. And it's turning out to be very remarkable. So I'm going to be very, very clear that if you do not get your tokens fixed by Thursday, and you've submitted it to me to get over there, we're going to take care of those. But if we don't get it by Thursday, if I don't have it from the MSIs by Thursday, so I can make sure that they have it by Thursday night to get fixed, and I'm going to check in with them as I can while I'm in the Caribbean. Okay. I want to make sure this gets done, but if I don't submit it Thursday and it doesn't get fixed, that's the last time we have a chance to do things. Okay. Let me remind you guys how and why we got into this. Okay. We had a very, very special arrangement. Okay. And we were able to use it because of some other things that had happened and where some investment had gone with the marketing partnerships that I have. And we all received an amazing deal. And then we got a bigger deal based on the growth and the marketing that we did to extend that deal. And we did a really good job with it. We got them to expand. We got them to extend. We got a bunch of tokens. Okay. And then we got those tokens 10 times, right? We had a very awesome mechanism, and we have several of our marketing family here that received, 500 tokens that became 5,000 tokens, right? And you got to watch, and you've been able to be proving this out and enjoying it, and it's been part of a tokenization and mining process already. So everybody that came in on that special deal that we did got a minimum after the 10x of 5,000 tokens. If you did not get your 5,000 tokens because you didn't get it boosted properly, that's why we're doing this last call to get it fixed. Okay. Once they do the next transfer, there's no more anything can be done. And the way this is set up, and I know I structured this before, the token value at what it's looking like it's going to launch at, let alone what it's going to grow to, is pretty dang significant. And it looks like we're all going to have a very massive win. Okay. It's why I want to have corporate come on in a couple weeks time, hopefully, to come on here and share more wisdom with us on it. But they're doing a bunch of transfer things. There's a whole process of mining and the way that they're going to be organizing that, and some things that we're going to have access to. And there's some stuff going on right now that is great for new people that are in their marketplace. That doesn't necessarily include us. It could, but we're gonna know more details on that in 2 weeks' time. What I want you to understand is we're gonna know what the future looks like, but everybody that came in during that promotion, they got what they got because that was the timing. That was a critical time for us to do that. It was a lot of fun things that came together, and it looks like we're gonna have a very big windfall. Okay, that being said, there's some options and things that are going to be discussed. And I want you guys to understand some definitions. There's a definition called staking, where you can stake cryptocurrency coins. I've talked about this before. We've worked on a thing called stake base, which is in a hole because of regulatory issues. But staking is literally like throwing your cryptocurrency into a bond, even though it's not called a bond, but it's putting it, and you're saying, I'm not going to touch it for a period of time. And because I'm not going to do that, that goes to this, it goes to a staking value for the cryptocurrency itself. And you're rewarded in token, like an interest payment for doing so, right? So when you hear them talk about staking, that's what it is. Now, I'll tell you what Rory is going to do in almost every situation on this is I'm going to leverage that token and I'm going to stake on the future of what it's going to do because I'm a long-term participant. I'm not looking to get in and get out. I'm looking for what this is going to offer as it becomes the medical solution that it's going to become, that it's becoming. And I like the value of what it offers down the road. And so I'm going to stake knowing that I'm going to risk the future. Okay. I also think that the value of that cryptocurrency can significantly go up. And so as a calculated risk, I like that direction. What others might do with this is very soon the vehicle will be open to where you can literally liquidate your token. That's your call. You want to liquidate it and let's say it's $1 a token, you can liquidate it at $1 a token if you want to, or you can stake on it and hold on to it. Or maybe there'll be a way where you can roll it into these new mining programs. And that's something that we're going to be working on. And don't quote me on any of that right now. Just know that there's some things we're working on. There are bigger token packages right now that they're offering to new customers coming in. And there's going to be probably some type of a segue for us to participate in that. And we're going to know what the future marketing picture looks like. Now, we took a stake. We talked to everybody when we did this. We looked to have had a really, really big windfall. And that windfall could be sizably bigger. It could be, it's all speculation right now. I am not promising or guaranteeing anything. I'm just going to tell you what Rory's looking to do based on the information that I have. That's not a decision you need to make today anyway, but it's something good to, to discuss and talk about. And we'll put some options out and some different directions things are going after we get all the information about where the future is going, since they're rolling things out. For those of you that do not have a watch yet, don't worry. We're going to explain this at the right time. I'm going to tell you until I understand exactly what our operation looks like with them going forward, I'm going to ask everybody to hold off. Normally, I wouldn't tell you to hold off. You buy what's on the truck, you sell what's on the truck. I want to wait because this has some very big implications for us. And I am going to utilize something that I'm going to talk about today in our favor. And I want to get a really good deal for us to market and go forward. We represent a lot of strength. So I want to hold off on that for a while. Don't feel like you're missing out on anything. I want this to be a really good program for new people to get into. And I want to make sure that gets set up properly. All right. Okay. I'm not doing any Q&A today. Not today. We're going to be bringing on the experts. We're going to cover some things. We're going to go from there. Okay, Sean.
Rory, can you explain to the people on here the date, what the last date was that people would get those bonus tokens? Does that make sense?
Okay, so
because there's people that bought watches after the fact that won't get those, right?
correct. There was
Okay.
only a time period, and this is the thing is, if you bought the watches after the promo time that we had, that was a promo time. We got an extension on it twice. That was it. That was final. And just so everybody understands, we did such a good job on that. We literally consumed the entire investment we put in. They matched it, and then they put extra in to keep it going. We won big, and I'll speculate. Okay, I'm told from my sources that token that we did the 10-for-1 conversion into, that's going to go and from the off-chain wallet that it's in now to the on-chain wallet, which is, I think, is happening January-ish. That the opening value looks like it's going to open the market at $1 USD. I'm just telling you what I've been told from my sources. Don't quote me on it because I haven't seen the actual proof of that. But if you want to just have fun, you can say each of those is worth $1. I think I brought this up in other calls before. And I don't know what the open market's going to do when it hits. I know that they're selling a lot of these newer packages at the $4,000 mark with the mining and the different processes all through Europe. We're going to get to the bottom of what it means for us. Remember, we launched the US. We were the US launch for this company, and we gained a lot for it. But also, I told you, we're going to need to wait until they get completed on stuff. But because we took action, we committed like we did, we got a big match from the investment we put into it. And it looks like we're all going to have a nice win. We're going to know the timing on how to execute that. I've had a few people reach out to me and say, Rory, I want to cash my stuff out. Guys, we can't cash out till it's ready. It's right now, it's an off chain. It's in the spreadsheet. They're going to add it to the full on Ethereum fork chain that they have, and they'll go forward from there. If you don't know what that means, just wait 2 weeks. We're going to put this out there. We will specify it out. We'll spell it out and know how to act on it. Right now, there's a lot of things going out to the company. They are transferring over several clients from building this up over the last several years into the model that is there today. So you're going to see some communication. We're going to clear it. We're going to clear it all up with the corporate representative in a couple weeks' time. Sherry, I can't do it. I have an agenda and I'm going to run out of time. We'll do some more Q&A. I'll do more with the leadership. I just wanted to give you guys an update. And also the main thing is we can clean some people up. So for the MSIs that have students that didn't get their tickets fixed, this is our last time to do it. If it gets submitted to me and it's a proper ticket, we go through it. What I would recommend, Sean, those that got the watches after the promotion, if they've submitted a ticket or whatever else, just submit it to me again. They'll check it. They'll know the date. But their system won't let them get them if they're outside that date. But I'd rather double check it and be wrong than not check it and then wish we had. Have I mentioned today that you shouldn't miss the Tuesday calls? Let me put this in perspective. This one project we're talking about right now, based on the numbers I have above in there and the tokens issued out, it happens to be millions of dollars in potential that I'm looking at. You guys remember we launched this on a Tuesday call. So those of you that are brand new, attend the Tuesdays. We have opportunities coming to us all the time that we get to take advantage of. And a lot of times we get to do it at an amazing situation because we're marketers. We're also going to be part of the marketing field taking this out. You know what? I work with the CEO directly. We're not dealing with middlemen. We're dealing directly with the source in almost anything we market. As this family gets bigger and bigger and bigger, our strength in marketing becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. All right. So I can't stress this enough. And I know we have a lot of students that come on like one Tuesday a month and then they feel like they're missing out. Well, attend them all. We are purposely recording and doing the replays on YouTube so people can keep up to this. All right. But you don't want to be missing out on this. All right. I'm going to go into a highlight. I think, guys, I am so excited about the wines being released over the next few months. We have a new sparkling coming out. It's so good. All right, I covered that. I'm waiting because I saw the bottling report, and I got to taste that when we were at the harvest event. It's so good. I've been asking for a really good brew. Peter and I wanted to up the scale. This is a Grand Cru level. This is definitely retail above the $100 mark. This is a Ripco type brew, Dom Perignon type brew. I'm just going to put some little bit of knowledge out there. Sean, this is for you. They don't just make sparkling wine out of normal wine. They don't like take a Chardonnay and sparkle it. It doesn't taste good that way. They literally have to make the wine a very specific way, and it literally does not taste very good until they sparkle it, and then it tastes good. It's a very special art. It's incredible. And having the winemaker break it out to me his way, I got really, really excited. And then we got to taste where it's at, right? So they did a special thing. They sparkled it for us. I did it, and then I saved the rest. I finished that entire bottle off in a slow. I didn't just pound it. I enjoyed it over a period of time there, and just went. It's so good. And I'm gonna let you guys know that it's an absolute gift of love that we're sharing that. We're gonna keep it in the standard product. So we know when that comes out, it's gonna be a really good time to get customers on for the holidays, because that bottle alone is well worth the shipment by itself. And they're going to get like 4 that month, and then they can order custom cases. I just wanted to share that today because I wrote my note on here. So that's coming out. We have really good holiday wines coming out, like always. Very good holiday wines. Okay. That's the matter of business. And now I want some very solid concentration, no Q&A. I'm going to go into an amazing topic. I'm going to start the recording. I want to share with you guys something that's it's been a very awesome understanding for me. I wish I would have known it earlier in life, and it's something that I was taught by several mentors actually. And I guess I'm getting ready because I'm going to this mastermind with some very solid buddies of mine that I've known for a long time, and they come from different walks of business. They deal in big business to business platforms. We're all geeks, techie heads. We've all been involved in software and development, and we all played in the internet in 1994 forward together, and different aspects and understandings of business and marketing. And I've always been the business to consumer understanding, their business to business, almost all of them. And their perspective on that, it's really good for me, and vice versa. And I'm getting ready to go over there, and I'm meditating. I'm trying to get ready, and I'm trying to get a list of the things that I want to ask for their opinions and help with. You know, they have a great understanding that comes outside of my environment, right? Because you get into your learning zone and your learning environment, and sometimes you can't see past it. Like you think you see past it, but you really got like some fog on your vision, right? You know what you know, and you sometimes because you don't know what you don't know, you don't have a perspective outside of what you know. Okay, so when you go to someone else's perspective, it helps you open things up to see it a different way. And a lot of times that's how I've come with solutions to problems I couldn't overcome prior, or a frustration I had. And I'm like, how do I get around that? Or how can I be better with that? And in the scope of building this entire RRR247 community and this utopian way of things, I've ran into points where I didn't have the answer per se. And I go to my brain trust, and they'll put different light on it, and you can see it a different way. And then sometimes the answers just are able to be visible. So I'm getting ready for this mastermind, and I'm so excited for it. I used to go for 3 weeks at a time, and as RRR got more and more large and busy, I've toned it down a little bit over the last few years. And the guys were doing it all in a short 8-day period. counting travel. And I want to maximize the most of it. And so like anything, I'm preparing, right? I'm meditating, I'm writing down notes, and I'm going through what are my frustrations that I hope I can accomplish some solutions when I come back. And in that episode of thinking it out, and I wanted to share how I got to this, because I think it's good to share how my brain thinks, because I've learned patterns of thought from my mentors in life. And I wanted to pass that down. I want to stop assuming you guys know how things progress. I want to walk through the steps so I can share that knowledge as well. Sometimes it's the little detail that makes the difference. So I'm doing that, and inspired, I remembered a lesson that I've learned, and I've created my own understanding of it to share. And I started really trying to think out how I would share that with you. And it's called the power of compromise. And a lot of times we hear, like, you know, in a relationship or in a marriage, there's a lot of compromise. And I'm not talking about the compromise of, hey, you know, John, you and your wife want to go out to dinner. She wants Mexican, you want Italian, and you decide for some reason you're just going to get barbecue and you compromise in a different direction. I'm not talking about that type of compromise. I'm also not talking about the compromise of, you know, give and take with a friend or a business partner. I'm talking about the compromise of energy specifically. And, you know, and I also been really thinking a lot more about the frequency and our tunes, because I love this product. And I like the science behind it all, and the more we've been understanding it, and I like our bio discs. I like all these things that we've been educating the internet with, and we're continuing to on our EMF protection. And I'm thinking about energy, and then I realize that there's something that I understand that I don't think a lot of people do. And it's not just something that helps you with business negotiations or making decisions in life, but it helps you at the very core of a relationship with your child, with your spouse, with others. And, you know, I have a lot of people that come to me when they get really frustrated in a relationship, because I've always had a power to be very calm and understanding and collected. And I also know how to navigate through a lot of stressful situations. And it's all from my understanding of what I call the power of compromise. So I'm going to break it down into a couple things. And I've never really taught this in an open forum before. It's always been individual. But today I really felt inspired to do this on the next Tuesday call. So there's the background and where I got there. And now I'm going to explain it in more detail. And it's something that I don't think you'll fully grasp unless you really think it out as far as your life. So when you are engaged in a conversation and everything is great and you're sharing energy of positivity and it's just a happy conversation, that's amazing. But what's happened there is you've shared things back and forth positively. Everything's great when everything is great. But when there's a tense moment or something that creates you to be upset, or somebody's hurt feelings, or somebody's, you know, transgressed you in some way, whether it's small or major, there's an energy exchange, and that's where the compromise happens. Whether I intended to or not, if I hurt your feelings, I've technically compromised my energy with you, and I've attacked our fibers of trust. Now, if you have a really good friend and they know your true heart and intent, and you can be totally blunt with them, and they know that you love them unconditionally, and they know that you're never doing anything purposely to harm them, you can have a very awesome exchange, and you have a great power of communication, because you do not have a moment of compromise, because you reach a level of friendship that allows you to be you all the time, and they can be them all the time. And out of love, you're there to help each other grow and progress. And it's a very special relationship. I have very few of those myself. Anything less than that type of relationship, you've got to understand the power of compromise in order to grow, hoping to achieve that level of a friendship. every student that I work with, I hope to get that level of friendship with and understanding. And that's because we've both been able to grow together to a point where we know we have a focused goal and direction, and no matter what, we're going to get there together. And I'm going to right the ship with them, and they're going to right the ship with me so that we can get things done that we need to get done. These type of relationships that are non-compromised are the ones that you see victories created all the time with. You see it in sports, you see it in finance and in big projects, and you also see it in marriages. Proper marriages, ones that last, they have that non-compromise situation. The power of compromise, when you reach a relationship or a situation where you can never be compromised because you both understand each other so well, is a very powerful thing. And it's a power of compromise, meaning you have no compromise because there's no hidden agendas between the two of you. You've got a solid relationship. And again, they're very rare in my findings. I cherish everyone that I have. There's also a power of compromise when you understand compromise and you take the higher road and assume the higher energy in a relationship. So the depths of that, as an example, I've always taught it by saying, keep out of the tornado. It's something I was taught by a very solid mentor of mine. He's the one that literally taught me, and I put him in my book. He was my CTO. I've had great relationships with my chief technical officers in my companies over the years. And I was in my 20s, if that means, and I had some emotion to me then. And I'd been, we were in a situation, I'd been literally ripped off with a code that we created and that we owned and spent a lot of money to create. And it was stolen, and we had proof of it, and we were in a court battle, which we had won in jurisdiction, and I was pretty hot. And he sat me down, and he's like, Rory, he's like, I got to tell you, I learned this from my mentor, and I'm going to pass it down to you. And he said, emotion is a luxury we cannot afford. You can't afford to do that. And when you let somebody get to you and you allow it to happen, you compromise your energy into a defeat mode, and you get wound up with this like hate and vital and ugliness. And it can happen to the best of people, and it literally compromises your energy, and you make bad decisions. This is probably where, people do things that they normally characteristically wouldn't do. You compromise yourself, and it's letting your emotions take control. And the lessons in my life went from the same awesome individual to keeping out of the tornado. And I saw this in any relationship. And when you have two people that are not understanding the compromise and being in a relationship where the compromise is not necessary because you can just be yourselves, the person that loses their grip on their emotions, they spin out of control like a tornado. And if you share your energy into that, it becomes more and more of a tornado. Tornadoes die down when there's nothing to feed the energy of the tornado. When there's energy to keep it going, it progresses, it destroys things. The more energy it picks up, the more it's going to destroy, just like a relationship. So if you step out or step back from the tornado and let it wind itself down without you adding your energy, the power of compromise is in your favor. And it's the person that wound up and got emotionally distraught and created the tornado that loses their energy because of compromise. They're compromised. They've wronged things, they acted wrong, they did things that we know is out of balance. And as long as you didn't join them in that, there's a compromise balance where you got an upper hand because you kept your composure. That's the power of compromise. And it helps in so many different areas of negotiation and relationships. And it's a very, very powerful thing to understand. And when you understand it in the light of activity or progress with your business, it's there. And it seems like whenever we are progressing, there's an equal balance of things that come in negativity or things that knock us down. And that's why we reset, refocus, recommit. You got to get back on track. But the power of compromise is that as well. When you don't allow something to knock you off your path of success that you've mapped out and you're going towards, and you get back on there, that's also a power of compromise where you're giving yourself the power to keep going through. And those big obstacles will look smaller and smaller and smaller because you'll figure out how to overcome them. And a lot of them are things that we create for ourselves as a problem. We might have a seeded thing that we think we're going to be defeated in anything we do. Maybe we've never succeeded in life before, and we've compromised ourselves with energy from a young age. This is why the power of compromise is such a deep topic, because it's not just an individual conversation where you can gain compromise, or you can utilize the power of compromise to keep the upper hand of energy. If you're in a very sticky situation, those who remain calm and focused always get out ahead. They make clearer decisions. Anybody that gets emotionally wrapped up, the power of compromise goes against you, and you've compromised your emotions, you've compromised your standing, and you tend to make a bad decision out of that because you're not seeing clear. The power of compromise in the negative way is going to cloud your vision, where if you remain calm and focused and you control your energy to not get emotionally wrapped up or involved, you can keep clear and focused and make better decisions. It's why I call it the power of compromise. It gives you power or it takes it away from you based on how you're using that compromise of a situation. Usually it's emotional. Sometimes it's in resources. You know, when you go and try to get help with somebody, or you try to build a company or build a business, if someone has more resources than you have to put into it, you're in a compromise. It's the same thing with the relationship, and it may not just be a dollar amount, it might be an emotional amount. You know, if you're a parent raising a child, then you have more emotion and I guess more resources with the child than the other parent. There's always that imbalance or compromise unless the parents are at whole with each other in that energy, and knowing that the give and take may not be 50-50 all the time. And these are where there's challenges in every aspect of our life. And the more you understand what I call the power of compromise, you can feel when it's off balance. And as a better person, or someone that's elevating in education and understanding, when you can raise yourself to keep the balance and not compromise your emotions in the situation, not compromise your standing in the situation, and you can just be calm through it and make better decisions without being compromised by emotion, you gain in wisdom, and you gain in that relationship. You also build trust, and the person's going to be more secure around you because you're emotionally stable. And it's really, it's stability is a wealth of its own. And that's why I call it a power. It's got energy. You know, if you can be calm and collected, that's valuable. You're going to be a better person all around. You know, and I can go to biblical references, and you know, and patience is an amazing thing. And in business, I talk about the patient process a lot. That's understanding the power of compromise. Meaning, I'm not going to rush into something or push something that's not ready. I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to trust the system. I'm going to realize that, hey, things are going to take longer than they probably want them to. But if I just keep at it and I'm consistent, we're going to get there. That power of not compromising, you know, the unexpected or a false reality to come true so that you're going to be defeated. If you're expecting something that can't happen, that's defeat before you even began. You compromise the situation with your belief that's not realistic. Having unrealistic expectations is utilizing the power of compromise against yourself. You've already compromised yourself because you're expecting something that's not possible, and therefore it's never going to work out. You've defeated yourself with the compromise before it began. It's something people do all the time, and it's a reason why there's failure. Anything can succeed. It's all about proper expectations and proper execution. And a lot of times we'll set ourselves up for failure because we're going to expect something that we know we can't get there just because we're used to a failure pattern. we've already let the power of compromise affect us in a bad way, and it probably started patterns ago, right? We all live by patterns. And so I was going through this in my mind, in my meditation on how to explain it to you guys, but it's a reason why I've done very well in a lot of things I've done is I believe in a patient process. I understand the power of compromise. And the only time, and I'll say this as a husband and father and a male subject in the household, we're expected to be more the rock than anything and more solid. And we do battle it well. I think men in general do. But when you lose your temper or your patience, you've compromised that energy, and there's expectations there. And so this is, I'm going to put it in a perspective I think guys can understand as a guy, is you've got this expectation that everybody's holding you to. And we all know, and it's all based on what they know, right? We don't know what we don't know. It's based on their environment. They expect you to be the father like their father, the husband like their father was to their mother. And there's this expectation. And then you come from your background and your understanding of what you saw represented and what you were raised in your environment. And this goes for any topic, but I'm just trying to use the father husband topic to relate. And you're who you are. And whenever these don't combine or they don't equal out, there's this expectation that gets blown out because of the power of compromise. It's all these things that affect any type of relationship. And the best thing we can do is not get emotionally charged, keep our patience, not lose our temper, and realize that the expectation might be different because they expect us to be like someone else or do something like what they expected. And when you can get the understanding or the transparency of what they want and what you expect and have that conversation, then you don't have to compromise the energy because it's out in the open, and you can work to help everybody get what they expect and what they need without making it awkward and without having it be a compromising energy from both parties. When it's an uncomfortable situation, and I'm going on a very generic one, I'm not pointing at anybody directly and make sure I say that clear, but there's an awkward communication that hasn't happened, also a power of compromise. Proper communication allows the compromise not to necessarily have to happen. You can have a balanced relationship and have that relationship of no compromise, and expectations are understood, growth together is understood, and it's a very powerful place to put both parties or all parties, depending on what it is, into that stride. And in business, and when I say in business, the family is a business. I talk about the family economy all the time. Families that don't understand how a business runs usually fall apart. They don't know how to budget. They don't know how to plan. They don't know how to, forecast the future. If you don't run your family like a business, you're running it to fail because, if you don't plan to succeed, you plan to fail. There's only two ways it can go. There's no middle. You either have a plan and you're going towards something, or you don't have a plan, which means you fail, right? You guys have heard this before. If you don't plan something, you plan to fail. You're going to fail at anything. If you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get there. I say it the same way. And the family economy, it starts with, who's your family? If you're a family of one, that's your family economy. What's your plan? If you got a husband and a wife, or you got two partners, then it's if you have a compromise in the understanding, something's not going to go right. Everybody's going to have an awkward situation, and it all comes down to that power of compromise. So if you can get on the same page, cover the expectations, and communicate properly, all without losing patience and temper, and you can grow together, you're going to have a great relationship, whether it's business, family, or both, because it's all based on that power of compromise. And it's something that I never saw, learned, or witnessed in my environment that I grew up in. I learned it when I started hanging out with very awesome, individuals like Jim Rohn and Mark Hughes and other people that I had in my life. Richard Davidson lives pretty much without compromise. He doesn't, he learned how to just stay calm in demeanor. Some people, like like Sean, you're in the Coast Guard. A bad day for you isn't like a bad day for somebody that works in an office. There's things that can go wrong in the military life, and I've noticed this with veterans that we work with. Their patience is overwhelmingly strong. Their understanding of what really could be bad versus a bad day here is so monumentally strong for me that, and it's there, but you don't know what you don't know. And someone that's never had to deal with combat or life or death situations, a bad day for them is going to be far more dramatic, but not without the cause to be dramatic, than somebody that understands life or death, right? A bad day for a doctor that saves lives every day, maybe that, he couldn't save 2 people that came in on a bad emergency run. That's a bad day for him. Other people can't even relate to that because they're not dealing in life or death matters. And so there's that perception that's always there, but the power of compromise goes to play with all aspects of life, not just the dramatic life or death, but even the little thing with how you handle a toddler that's losing his mind over being overly tired. There's all sorts of areas that we're challenged in life, and the power of compromise makes us better people, better communicators, and better marketers. When I deal with a client, an advertiser, or somebody that has a problem, I've always been the calm and collected one to understand what it is so I can know, how do we solve this? I'm always forward thinking. There's a problem, great. How are we going to fix it? What can we do to make this better? Everything should be looking for, how do we solve this? How do we make it better to go forward versus linger on it, right? It's all part of that reset, refocus, recommit direction that I'm constantly, striving for with everybody. And I wanted to spend some time on that today. Doesn't mean I'm not going to bring it up again, because there's a lot of ways to get there. The first time it was explained to me was in different terms. And the tornado thing helped a lot, and I talk about emotions being a luxury you can't afford. If you ever get your emotions involved in any aspect of life, you tend to lose. Things get out of control. And if you think about it, think about the moments in your life that weren't so pretty, and you're probably emotionally compromised. It's the power of compromise. We're human, right? We're not exactly robots. We have emotions, and they allow us to feel and do things. But when you understand that there's a better way to utilize it, there's always a way to grow and gain and keep control of those expensive emotions. The power of compromise will change if you understand that, what I'm trying to say, I'm hoping to get this through, your patterns in life will change. Your aspect and what you receive from your request to the universe will change. I spend a lot of time on manifestation, but there's things that I understand when I manifest that my students and people I get to influence may not understand. And therefore I'm going forth with more tools than you understand are available. That's what started this whole process is, wow, I haven't explained this. And when I'm manifesting to the world and to the universe and to God for what I want and what I know I deserve and what I know I should be graced with, I'm also doing it with the power of compromise to where I know I've kept things in check. I've been calm, and I'm not going there out of anger or emotionally charged compromise when I ask for it. And that understanding, I think, makes a lot of these things that you might have read, and like if you read The Secret or anything like that, these are components that make these aspects work. There's building blocks and understanding when you request something and ask for something to be given to you that come to play. And the power of compromise, that's what I call it, the power of compromise and knowing how to utilize that when requesting or asking is one of the tools that I've always had going on. That's just a pattern I live, and I wanted to express that. So I know there's people that have been trying to manifest, they've been trying to ask for a better life, but if you're living in a power of compromise, you're emotionally charged, it doesn't seem that you're going to get that answer because you're sending a cross signal of very expensive emotions tied to that request. And I was just trying to put that out there in perspective. I'll try to rephrase it a few other times. This is the biggest group I've ever tried. I've only done this on an individual basis, but I wanted to get that wisdom shared out to everybody. That being said, God bless. I'll see you guys on our next training. We got the wine and dine tomorrow, and see you guys next Tuesday. With Tanya will be on there with next Tuesday. I'll try to be there if I can, but Tanya will be talking to you guys next Tuesday. And again, God bless. See you guys in the wine and dine tomorrow. Bye for now.